Is there some other major concern of the foundation at this time that we haven't yet looked at?
Well, officially perhaps no, but unofficially I think we are becoming more and more preoccupied with what we're doing to ourselves in this country and indeed in other countries through the modifications we wittingly and unwittingly make in our own environment.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'd better take the foundation out of this one and say it's a passion of mine which I hope to take the foundation into a little more. That is, in the deepening examination of these multiple problems of air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, and health, and all the other things, mental disease and health and malnutrition, all the things that go with these changes we've brought about on the environment as it impacts on us by the results of our own advances, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very complex, a very knotty, one of the most difficult and multiple problems to get at, but if we don't start, we're never going to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to say no start has been made, but I think we've got a long ways to go. We ought to be moving very promptly towards deeper understanding and more rapid action towards removing some of the things that are obviously before us and identifying and researching others, looking down the road to not continuing to, as I feel at least, to make our environment less attractive and less adaptable to the kinds of life we'd like to live, rather than more.
Well, from your own background, Dr. Harrar, as a biologist, and your own experience in the foundation prior to your becoming the president of it, could you give us an example or two of some of these pressing problems in environmental science that you mentioned? I mean, just some specific instances beyond the general?
Yeah, I could try. Everyone knows about smog, but as Mr. Mark Twain says, you know, and there not too many have done too much about it. We know that here in your West Coast, up in the California area, there's some very substantial evidence of the effect on smog, for example, on tender leafy vegetables, when you get the condensate from some of the chemical elements which are fallout. We get what are called physiologic plant disease, which of course is economic. This is a specific, along with all the irritations and all the allergens and all the respiratory difficulties which follow. Perhaps most, and this I am not stating as a fact, I'm stating as a theory which is growing in the minds of some, that we may too, unwittingly, and this is a long-range and very worrisome thing, affecting our weather patterns. Through this accumulation of the smog, not just in California or over Chicago or New York, but in an interrelated fashion. And possibly changing some of the rainfall patterns. And this is being studied and researched, but it's a real worry. And we're also worried about how long it's going to take before we've got the, not just over this city or that city, but let's say from Boston to Philadelphia, an unbroken line, or from Pasadena all the way down beyond Riverside as it is now.
Yeah.
And we just don't know what this means to us in terms not only of health problems, not only of health of animals and plants, domestic animals and plants, but of possible long-range modifications which might be very detrimental in weather patterns. And I think this is what I mean. I think we should be finding out. We should be trying to project. We're trying to do simulatory programs so that we'll begin to see what it is we're doing to ourselves.